All right, welcome back to the Geometry Unit in Chapter 10. We are moving into Lesson 2, where we're going to first focus on finding the area of a triangle. This is going to be a two-part lesson because we're not only going to focus on finding the area of the triangle, which is going to be part 1, but then in the second part, we're going to take that knowledge plus our area of parallelogram knowledge and areas of rectangles and square knowledge that we have from earlier this year. We did that at the beginning of the year and put that all together to do what they call composite figures or irregular figures or combined figures, whatever you want to call them, to find their areas. That's going to be part 2. We're going to focus on triangles today and then put pieces together in the next part. You'll work on that tomorrow. So in this note sheet, we're going to actually use this for 2 days and we're going to jump around. We're going to look at example 1 and we're going to look at example 3, I believe it is. Okay, so to start out, we should probably make sure we got some terminology down and know what the area formula is. So the base of a triangle is the length of any of the sides of a triangle. The important thing then is the height. It's the perpendicular distance between the side whose length is the base and the vertex opposite that side. Perpendicular means what kind of angle? That's right, a right angle. So let's look at it in pictures and maybe better words down here. So we have a triangle, we have a base, we have a height, and it forms a right angle. Height and base must form a right angle. But you'll notice that the area is only half of the base times height because a triangle is half of a parallelogram. So we don't need to find the full area, we just need to find half of it. So make sure you pay attention to that. That half is huge. So many people forget that. And let's just make a note again. Base and height must form a right angle. I told you in the last section that that was going to be really important. And it was going to keep coming up and keep coming up. Well, guess what? It keeps coming up. All right, so let's practice finding the area. You notice here the height is inside the triangle. Sometimes, so we see in example 1 that the height is outside of the triangle. Okay, so we're going to find the area of the triangle shown. When we have obtuse triangles, sometimes our heights are going to be outside. So always label what you have. Here is your base. It goes from here to here. That is your base. This is not your base. It just is an extension to show that you have a right angle. And there's your height. We're going to write the formula for the triangle, area of the triangle, and then plug in your pieces. 1/2, that just always goes along with it. The length of the base is 12, and the height is 15. We substitute it in and we solve. Now, if you want to do stuff in a different order, you can. Remember, multiplication is commutative. It means you can move things around. But 1/2 times 12 is 6. 6 times 15 is 90. And once again, this is area. So we have square units. So 90 square centimeters or 90 centimeters squared. You could write it that way too. Let's look at a couple more examples down here. All right, number 1. We have a base of 9 and a height of 6. I labeled. So let's plug in. Area equals 1/2 base times height. 1/2 times our base of 9 times our height of 6. Now here's an instance where you go, I don't want to do half of 9. That's going to be a decimal. Fine. Change up the order. What's half of 6? That's right, it's 3. What's 3 times 9? 27. Very good. So we'd have 27 feet squared. Or maybe say, I know what 9 times 6 is. It's 54. What's half of 54? 27. So you can rearrange the order to help you solve. All right, you guys try 2 and 3, pause the video, and then come back and after you've got it worked out and see how you did. All right, number 2. We've got a base, we've got a height. They form a right angle. It happens to be a right triangle, so here's an instance where your height is a side. Write out your formula so you know exactly what you need to plug in. 1/2 times your base of 6 times your height of 14. Half of 6 is 3. 3 times 14 is what? Hopefully you're saying 42 millimeters squared. At least let's hope that's right. Yep, 42. Okay, and then number 3, here you got your base of 12 miles and your height of 9 miles. Notice our height's outside the triangle, that's okay. Area equals 1/2 base times height. So we got 1/2 times my base of 12 times my height of 9. What's half of 12? 6. 6 times 9 is 54 miles squared. All right. So that's finding area of the triangle. Remember, your base and your height have to form a right angle. Now, as we look at this note sheet, like I said, we're going to skip to number 3, to example 3 here, okay? All right, so this is kind of like the parallelogram section where we're given an area and one of the dimensions, we have to find the missing one. So the area of a triangle is 48 centimeters squared and the height is 12 centimeters. What's the base? Okay, write out the formula, plug in what you have. We have 48 for the area. Half is always there. Don't forget that half. We don't know the base. We know the height is 12. So do the multiplication. Simplify. Half of 12 is 6. Now, to find your base, take the area divided by the height, and you get 8. 8 centimeters. All right. Now, let's jump down here to 7, 8, and 9. We have an area and we have a height. So let's see if we can't figure this out. We have area equals 1/2 base times height. Our area is 16. Half times our base we don't know, our height is 4. 16 equals 2 times our base, or our base times 2, doesn't matter the order. And so we'll go base is equal to 16 divided by 2, which means it equals 8 feet. Okay? And that makes sense. Half of 8 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. It works. And remember, the units are just feet. They're not squared because it's one dimension of our area. All right, you guys try 8 and 9, and then pause the video, and then when you're done, restart it and see how you did. Let's take a look now at number 8. So we have area equals 1/2 base times height. My area is 36. Half is always there. My base is 6, and I don't know my height. Well, what's half of 6? We've got to simplify that. That's 3. So I'm going to draw an arrow. 36 equals 3 times h. H is equal to 36 divided by 3, which is 12. 12 meters is the length of our height. Now, we'll go look at number 9. Area of 34 inches squared, height of 2. So, area equals 1/2 base times height. 34 equals 1/2 times b times 2. What is half of 2? It's 1. So that means our base is equal to, or 34 is equal to b. Oh, hey, look at that. We're done. So we just say our base is 34 inches. And let's see if that makes sense. Let's plug it in. Well, 1/2 times 34 is 17. 17 times 2 is 34. That's going to happen. That's what the dimensions are. This is a kind of very long-based, short-heighted triangle, and that happens. All right, so remember, when you're finding the area of a triangle, base and height have to form a right angle. Don't forget that 1/2 in the multiplication. Its area equals 1/2 base times height. All right, good luck with your practice.